I feel like we already, have gotten to know each other. The first thing I saw was your boob downstairs because it was coming out. She's like, here's my boob. Can you help me zip up? And I'm like, of course.
Should we tell real quick, I'm like trying to get out of my house. My poor makeup artist had just left and I didn't think to ask her to help me zip. So I'm like, I could do this. I got this. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then I'm like, oh dear, we're running late. We got to go. So I just threw on my leather jacket and in the Uber ride, I just kept hiding it so the titty don't pop.
Yeah.
I think he caught a little glimpse, but it's okay.
Well, you probably made his day.
Hey, thanks.
I mean, I feel like Uber drivers don't always have like the most exciting stories to come home with.
Well, some of us.
So if we got a little flash. Oh, do you have some Uber stories?
I fucked 2 Uber drivers before.
Really?
I did.
I didn't know we were going to go there so quickly. Okay, well, clearly you have to tell us the story.
Well, of course. Well, I had to find someone who was cute, of course, because I was like, you can kind of see the picture. Kinda. Let's be real. But I was like looking for someone around like my age who, because when I first started doing OnlyFans, like guy friends of mine were like, "Yo, can I be on it?"
Of course.
And then I was like, "Hey, as your friend, you're gonna get a girlfriend in 6 months, and she's going to hate you for this. Like, and then we can't hang out. So no."
That's really kind of you.
Oh, hey.
Like thoughtful.
Oh, thank you so much. I was like, hey, your girlfriend is not going to be cool with us being friends of this. Yeah. Anyways, so I kept like requesting them. And after like the 4th one, I was like, okay, this guy looks around my age and he looks like, I had like a weird feeling. I was like, this could be someone who would do it and like tell his friends that it's like a funny story.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in there and like, you can see on the video, I'm like holding the camera like on the floor to like record our conversation. And I'm like, oh, like, what's your name? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like small talk to like get a feel for their personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? They're like, no, I don't. I'm like, oh, it's like, do you know what OnlyFans is? And they're like, fuck yeah, I know what OnlyFans is, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, would you actually want to be on mine? Like, I was like, I'll pay you, like, if you just, like, fill out the paperwork, like, we won't put your face in it.
Yeah.
But if you want to be on it, like,
wow.
I guess you can hear their voice. So I'm like, no one will necessarily know it's you.
Right.
And both of the times they're like, yeah.
So, okay, so you've done this with 2 Uber drivers. How many have you approached? And
well, the ones that... Those 2 worked out only because I kept looking at the person, and then if they didn't look like the right fit, I would cancel. So I canceled on a bunch before I got those.
Okay, so I see. So you order an Uber.
Yeah.
You wait for their photo to pop up.
Yeah.
And you decide whether or not they're good enough for you.
Because if they're in their, like, 40s, they probably won't because they don't know, like, what OnlyFans... They may not know what OnlyFans is, or they're like married, or I don't know. So I was like, guys in like their late 20s, early 30s are probably going to be more down.
Yeah. Okay. So then, do you fuck them in the car, or do you go? Oh.
Well, one we like fucked in his car, and then he was like, "Do you want to come to my place?" And I was like, "Sure."
And then so then it continued from there.
Yeah.
How were they? Because I mean, you and I both know, working in the adult industry for a long time, like a lot of guys say they can do the job, and when it comes down to it, they can't necessarily fulfill their obligations. So how did these guys do?
They did pretty fucking good.
Huh.
Like, if someone's freaky enough to like fuck a girl they just met for OnlyFans, like, and they're like confident enough to have their dick on the internet, they're gonna be decent.
Yeah. I guess that's true because, a lot of times when I'm thinking about, guys failing on set, it's always like on a big professional set with like a bunch of people and it's like, a lot of pressure. This is no different.
Pressure kind of thing.
Wow. I mean, I can't imagine, that like they went home and told their friends and no one believed them.
Of course they didn't. Like, I did send them, we kept in touch though, and I was like, hey, here's your video.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, of course. Like, I paid them. I had them sign the paperwork, like.
Oh, my God. I can't. This guy's just like, wow, this isn't such a bad job after all. Like, every other person that gets in his car, he's like, is this the one?
Is this
like,
the one?
No, man, that was a one-off.